There's something nobody told you about manifestation, something that changes everything yet almost everyone overlooks. It's this: the moment you want something, you start pushing it away. Not because desire is bad, not because the universe is punishing you, but because wanting in vibrational terms is a signal of separation. It tells the quantum field, this reality isn't mine. It emits a frequency of lack, and the field, being perfectly aligned, mirrors that frequency back to you. You might be visualizing your dream life, saying affirmations, even feeling inspired. But if your energy is still rooted in desire, if the internal signal is, "I don't have this yet," then the field hears that as your truth. And that's exactly what it keeps reflecting. The experience of not having. This is the invisible trap that keeps so many stuck. They're not failing to manifest because they're doing something wrong. They're failing because they're still vibrating from the place of wanting, not being. Wanting is subtle. It hides in your goals, your affirmations, even your prayers. You say you want love. You say you want abundance. But the energy behind those words often screams, it's missing. And so the field, which responds not to your words, but to your vibration, gives you more of that signal. Now here's the shift, and it changes everything. The quantum field doesn't need your desire. It needs your coherence. It needs your alignment with the version of you who already has the life you're calling in. And that version of you doesn't want. That version of you has. So how do you bridge the gap? Let's break this down in quantum terms. The field is a sea of infinite possibilities. Every version of you, the one who's struggling, the one who's thriving, the one who's fully aligned, already exists. These aren't fantasies, they're frequencies. And the observer you collapses one of those possibilities into reality based on the signal you emit. When you say, "I want to be confident," the field hears, "I'm not confident." When you say, "I want more money," the field hears, "I don't have enough." Your desire, however noble, is encoded with absence, and that encoding becomes your energetic signature. This is why so many spiritual teachers and quantum thinkers, from Neville Goddard to Joe Dispenza, emphasize feeling the wish fulfilled, not hoping, not wishing, but being the version of yourself who already lives in that reality. Because only then does the field respond with the evidence you've been waiting for. Let's be clear, this isn't about pretending. It's not about faking confidence or acting indifferent. It's about shifting where you operate from. You're no longer moving toward the thing. You're moving as the version of you who already has it. And that distinction, that vibrational stance, is everything. When you stop wanting, you stop emitting the signal of absence. You stop reinforcing the story of not enough. And you start transmitting a new frequency, presence, certainty, embodiment. That's when reality begins to shift. That's when manifestations start appearing, not as sudden miracles, but as natural reflections of your new state of being. In the next part, we'll explore why wanting, even in its most spiritual disguise, still keeps you locked in the old timeline. And we'll start dismantling the subtle ways desire masks itself as alignment. Because once you understand what's really happening vibrationally, you'll stop chasing, you'll start choosing, and the field will follow. So now you know that wanting creates separation. But here's what's even more subtle, and even more important. The energy of wanting often disguises itself as ambition, as clarity, even as spiritual alignment. But vibrationally, it's still rooted in lack. It still tells the field, "I'm not there yet." Let's be honest, most of us were taught to want. Society told us that wanting is the first step to achievement. Set goals, stay hungry. keep chasing the next thing. But in the quantum world, this approach doesn't work. Why? Because the quantum field doesn't respond to your goals. It responds to your state. Your vibrational identity, moment by moment, is either broadcasting, "I have it," or "I lack it." There's no in-between. Wanting is an energetic loop. The more you want, the more you reinforce the idea that what you desire is separate from you, keeping it suspended in the field, just out of reach. It's like tuning a radio to 88.5 FM, but expecting to hear the music playing on 106.7. You can wish, pray, or scream your intentions into the sky, but the signal won't match because the frequency isn't aligned. This is where science meets spirit. In quantum mechanics, there's a concept called superposition. It tells us that all possible states of a system exist at once, until an observer collapses one into reality. This means every version of your life already exists in the field. The wealthy you, the loved you, the confident, peaceful, radiant you, they're all there, waiting. But which version becomes real depends on your observation, and more importantly, your emotionally charged perception. If you keep observing your life through the lens of "I don't have it yet," you keep collapsing the timeline where you don't. This is why people say nothing ever changes, not because the possibilities aren't there, but because the observer hasn't shifted. Wanting also triggers survival energy. Think about it. When you want something badly, how does your body feel? Tense, tight, strained. These are incoherent states. They signal your nervous system that you're unsafe, and your field becomes scattered. But when you tune into the frequency of having, even just in your imagination, your body relaxes, your breath slows, your heart opens. That's when your field becomes coherent. And that's when manifestation truly begins. Let's break this down in real terms. You might say affirmations like, "I want to attract love," but underneath, there's an emotional undercurrent of loneliness. And that loneliness is the real signal. Or maybe you're picturing financial freedom, but your dominant emotional state is fear. That fear is what the field aligns with. It's not punishing you, it's reflecting you, because it's intelligent, it's exact, it's a perfect feedback loop of your energy. And here's the key. You can't out-affirm or out-visualize a frequency rooted in scarcity. You can't force the field with shallow techniques. You have to change the core, the lived experience of being the version of you who already has that reality. This is where many stall. They wonder, if I release the desire, won't I lose my motivation? Won't I stop progressing? But that's a fear from ego, not truth. Your higher self doesn't operate from lack. It operates from certainty. And certainty is far stronger than desire. When you shift from "I want" to "I already have," your actions sharpen, your decisions flow. You're no longer striving or straining. You're attracting. You're choosing from alignment, not emptiness. And that's when everything speeds up, because you've become a clear signal in a chaotic field. Next, we'll break down exactly how to make this shift. How to move from wanting to being, using a simple daily practice that creates coherence in your body, clarity in your mind, and alignment in your field. This isn't about faking, it's about adjusting. And when the signal shifts, so does your world. So how do you do it? How do you move from "I want" to "I have"? How do you embody a state your senses might still doubt? The answer is simple and profound. You teach your body to trust what your mind can't yet perceive. You ground a new reality, not through thought, but through felt experience. Because the field answers to your emotions, not your words. And the quickest way to change them, through your body. Start with breath. Breath is the link. It's the fastest way to alter your energy field. Shallow, rapid breathing triggers survival mode. Your signal scatters, fixated on lack and danger. But deep, slow breaths, especially into your heart, create measurable coherence. Your brain waves calm, your heart sinks, your body enters a state of openness. Begin your day like this. Before your phone, before your tasks, sit still, hand on heart. Breathe in for 5, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Repeat this for at least 3 minutes. As you breathe, gently bring into your awareness the version of you that already has what you've been wanting. Don't think about them. Feel them. Imagine how they move, how they breathe, what emotions live in their body, what choices they make. Let that version of you become vivid, not in your mind, but in your nervous system. Then ask yourself, what does it feel like to already have it? Not what does it look like? What does it feel like? Is it peace? Is it confidence? Is it joy? Let that emotion rise, even if it feels subtle or unnatural at first. Your job isn't to perform it. Your job is to generate it, to practice it, to let your body rehearse that new signal again and again until it becomes familiar. Because what's familiar to your body becomes reality in your field. This is how you reverse the loop. This is how you teach your system to stop waiting for proof and start becoming the proof. You're no longer reacting to the external world. You're shaping it. You're releasing the version of you that needed evidence and stepping into the identity that radiates certainty. And don't worry if it doesn't feel real yet. That's not a failure. That's just your old programming. Your body's attachment to the familiar vibration of lack, fading away. Stay with it. Keep breathing. Keep feeling. Over time, the signal grows stronger, and as it does, you'll start noticing small shifts in your world. People respond differently. Opportunities appear. Ideas come easily. You're not forcing it anymore. You're allowing it to align, to deepen this practice. Add movement. Once you've finished the breathwork, stand up and move, as if you're already the version of yourself who has it. Walk with their posture, speak with their tone, make choices from their mindset. This might feel awkward at first, but it's incredibly effective. Because every decision you make from that energy becomes a vote for that reality. And every time you do it, the field responds. You're no longer imagining your future, you're practicing your new life. Not once, not twice, but consistently. That's what rewires the system. That's what anchors the frequency. You're turning possibility into lived experience. And here's the powerful part. The more you do this, the less it feels like pretending. The space between who you are and who you're becoming starts to close. You'll feel more natural, more fluid, more in flow, and eventually, what once felt like imagination will feel like memory. Because your body and your field now recognize it as true, and the field always reflects what resonates within you. In the next part, we'll go even deeper. We'll explore how to sustain this vibrational shift throughout your day, how to avoid slipping back into lack, and how to live in the frequency of I already have it, even when nothing outside has shifted yet, because that's where the real magic happens. Not when the world validates your new identity, but when you do. The real test of manifestation isn't during your morning ritual. It's in traffic, in a triggering conversation, when your bank account still shows lack, or when someone questions your worth. That's when the frequency is either anchored or lost. The version of you who already has it doesn't panic when things seem off. It doesn't rush to fix or control, because it's not waiting for proof. It knows the field responds to consistency, not intensity, and so it remains steady. That's your next step, to hold the signal amid contrast, to step into your current reality as the observer, not the reactor, to stop letting your surroundings dictate your shift, and start letting your vibration shape what comes next. So how? It begins with micro moments. You notice the old signal, the thought, the emotion, the posture, and you pause, you breathe. You ask, is this the vibration of someone who already has it? If not, you don't judge. You recalibrate. You choose again. That's the discipline of frequency, not rigidity. Return. You return, again and again, to the state you chose. And every return rewires your identity. That's when you become magnetic. Not by pulling things toward you, but by no longer pushing them away. Start noticing your posture. Is your body closed or open? Your breath, shallow or deep? Your words, do they affirm lack or confirm alignment? The version of you who already has it moves differently, thinks differently, listens differently, not with effort, with embodiment. They're not seeking external validation. They're living from the inside as if it's already real. And guess what? That's when the external starts to shift. Not because you forced it, but because you finally matched it. Let's make this real right now. Comment below. Not out of habit, not for the algorithm, but as a declaration of your new identity. Comment, I already have it. Feel what happens when you write those words. Let your fingers carry the frequency. Let your field receive the signal. I already have it. This isn't a trick, it's a collapse. A moment where the unseen becomes seen, where the internal turns external, where the timeline solidifies, and when others read your comment, they feel it too. Because we're not just commenting on a video, we're tuning a collective field, a vortex of alignment, a resonance of receptivity. Here's the paradox. The more you embody I already have it, the less you chase, and the less you chase, the more flows naturally, effortlessly, coherently, because now the field hears no contradiction. It hears clarity, and the field, like all intelligent systems, responds to clarity. So let this be your new baseline. You're no longer trying to manifest. You're no longer reaching. You're radiating. You've stopped reinforcing absence. You've become proof of presence. In the next part, we'll explore the signs that this shift is working. The subtle confirmations, the synchronicities, the quiet shifts that tell you. The field is aligning, reality is rearranging, and you're no longer lacking. You're receiving. You've stopped chasing. You've tuned in. You've shifted the frequency from scarcity to wholeness. Now the field begins to respond, not instantly, but unmistakably. And when it does, it speaks in a language most people overlook. Energy, timing, small shifts in the ordinary, but to the aligned. These signs are clear. They whisper, you're no longer vibrating from need. You're receiving from wholeness. The first sign isn't something you see. It's something you sense. A quiet calm settles in. You're not numb. You're not passive. You're just grounded. The mental chatter fades. You stop searching for proof. You stop begging life to deliver. Why? Because your nervous system finally trusts it's done. That's power. It means the signal is steadying, and coherence is the first clue your manifestation is taking form. Then synchronicities multiply, not as dramatic flashes, more like quiet hints. You think of someone and they text you. You voice a wish and an opportunity arises. You let go and gain an insight you'd missed for months. These aren't accidents, they're harmonics. The field is adjusting to your new state. Another sign, resistance softens. That talk you've been avoiding, suddenly it's effortless. That weighty problem, suddenly it has answers. Your world hasn't shifted drastically, but your connection to it has. That's the field rearranging to match your coherence. Again, not because you forced it, but because you stopped resisting. You might also notice time feels lighter. You're less frantic about tomorrow, less stuck in yesterday. The present feels richer. You're not distracted. You're here, and presence is the mark of the already have. Frequency. It doesn't live in anticipation. It lives in the moment. This is what people miss about quantum creation. It doesn't always start with outer shifts. It starts with subtle inner changes, ones you only notice when you're feeling, not waiting. You'll also choose differently, not from fear, not from urgency, but from alignment. You say yes to what fits your new path. You say no to what anchors the old. And with each right choice, you solidify the version of you that's already received. This builds speed. This sparks the moments where everything clicks. Then something curious happens. People act differently around you. They reflect your new energy. They don't know why, but they sense it. That's the field echoing coherence. That's reality recognizing a new observer. You also stop fighting what is. Even if things seem slow, you don't spiral, you don't panic, because deep down you know it's already in motion. You trust the field, not in theory, in your bones, and that trust attracts more trust, more flow, more ease. Here's a key one. Detachment, not indifference. Alignment. You stop fixating. You stop over-checking. You stop tracking your manifestation like a late delivery. Why? Because the you who already has it isn't anxious. And when you stop worrying, the timeline speeds up. Why? Because your energy is clear, and clear energy works fast. So if you're noticing these signs, even subtly, you're in it. The shift has begun, and the field has heard you, not because of what you said, but because of what you've become. In the final chapter, we'll seal this journey with a transmission, a simple closing ritual to anchor this frequency into your field, and to ensure this isn't just a passing shift, but the new default from which your reality unfolds. Because this isn't about one manifestation, it's about becoming a new signal for good. You've made the shift, not because you forced it, not because you wished hard enough, but because you remembered what's already true, that the version of you who has it, who lives it, who is it, has always been there, waiting, broadcasting, ready to be received. Now it's time to lock in that frequency, to ground it in the body, because the field is listening, and it responds to repetition, resonance, and embodiment. So let's close this journey, not with more ideas, but with integration. Find a quiet place. Sit, rest your hand over your heart. Let your breath slow. Feel the ground beneath you. Then call to mind the version of you who no longer lacks, the version who has already arrived, the version who radiates certainty, wholeness, peace. Don't try to picture the perfect scene. Just tune into the feeling. I already have it. Let it rise from your chest. Let it hum in your breath. Let it live in your posture. If doubt appears, that's okay. Smile at it. Breathe again. Return, because returning is the practice. And every time you return, you strengthen it. Now speak, softly, inwardly, or aloud, the phrase that carries the frequency. I already have it. Say it again. I already have it. Let those words resonate through your entire being. Let them reach your cells. Let them ripple into your field. Because this isn't just a mantra, it's reprogramming. It's the signature of your new timeline. And from this place, there's nothing left to push for, nothing left to prove. You don't need signs. You don't need validation. You are the evidence. You are the shift. This is the difference between hoping for a better life and choosing one, between waiting for reality to change and becoming the frequency that shapes it. So carry this into your day, into your decisions, into your breath. Don't just practice it once. Live it. Let it show in how you speak, in how you react, in how you trust. Let your life become the transmission. Let your energy enter a room before you even speak. And remember, every time you feel yourself sliding back into lack, you're just one breath away from returning. You're just one phrase away from remembering. I already have it. Let this be your anchor, your energetic home. And when you need to return to this field, this frequency, this knowing, we'll be right here. Because this isn't just a video, it's a space, a resonance, a community of witnesses creating a new timeline together. If this journey stirred something in you, if the vibration felt like home, subscribe, align, join the field, return often, rewire deeply. Because your reality isn't waiting for your desire, it's responding to your signal. And your signal has already shifted.